big welcome to all the viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle here on Global Television. Coming to live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, I am Dikan Michael. President Bola Tinubu has expressed optimism that the sacrifices and expectations of Nigerians will be realized, noting that favorable outcomes are beginning to manifest with the economy strengthening and vibrancy returning to the country's critical sectors. In a solemn message released by his media advisor Jirin Galele, the president also rejoiced with the Nigerian Muslim Ummah on the joyous occasion of the Eid Kabir, describing it as an event that signifies sacrifice, faith, and obedience to the will of the mighty. President Tinubu emphasized that sacrifice and duty are essential ingredients to nation building, maintaining that it takes collective purpose, will, and action to bring about great change. President Bola Tinubu earlier today arrived in Ikoyi, Lagos in the morning to observe a 2-unit Eid Kabir prayer. The president attended the Eid Kabir prayer at the Amazat alongside his chief of staff Femi Gbajabiamila and the former minister of works and housing Babatunde Fashola and other aides and associates. President Tinubu departed from Abuja to Lagos to celebrate this year's Eid Kabir celebration. As Muslims celebrate the Eid Kabir festival today, President Bola Tinubu, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and some state governors have congratulated them, urging them to imbibe sacrifice and pray for the national unity and peaceful coexistence of the country. The president congratulated the Muslims and prayed for Allah to accept their prayers and acts of devotion. Our President Bola Tinubu on Sunday hosted a special gathering to commemorate the Eid Kabir celebration at his Lagos residence. This was made known by the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in a statement on Sunday. The event brought together guests including Deputy Governor Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly Dr. Madushiri Obasa, Lagos State Head of Service Mr. Bode Agero, and renowned businessman Alhaji Aliko Dangote. The Department of State Services advised Muslims in the country to be cautious while engaging in religious and social activities during the festive period. The service also urged them to observe all necessary personnel security procedures. In a statement, the Director of Public Relations and Strategic Communication Department, Peter Afunaya, advised operators and patrons of malls, parks, and railway stations, among others, to ensure strict compliance with physical and other security measures required for public safety. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has stressed the importance of self-reliance in food production. Speaking after attending the Eid prayers with the Emir of Daura, Katsina State, Dr. Faruk Umar Faruk, Buhari lauded the efforts of Nigerians who have turned to farming to mitigate rising food prices and ensure national food security. This was contained in a statement by his media head, Garba Shehu. He appealed to citizens to continue striving for self-reliance by growing and consuming locally produced food. Our Speaker of the House of Representatives Abbas Tajuddin has called on Nigerians to continue praying for their leaders and be supportive for a better Nigeria. He made the call in his congratulatory message to Muslims as he marked this year's Eid Kabir. In a message signed by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity Musa Kirishi said the celebration is about total submission to higher authority, sacrifice and charity, urging Nigerians to imbibe these virtues in their daily lives. The Speaker Abbas noted that the celebration has a major significance in the life of Muslims as it reminds the people of the supremacy of Allah and the importance of sacrifice. The senator representing the Federal Capital Authority, Ireti Kengibe, congratulated Nigerians, particularly Muslims, on the occasion of the Eid Kabir celebration. This was disclosed in a statement issued in Abuja by Senior Special Advisor on Media, Kennedy Mbabele, the lawmaker calling on Nigerians, especially for leaders, to reflect and emulate Prophet Ibrahim's virtues of sacrifice. An Islamic cleric and a lecturer at the Department of Religious, Lagos State University, Dr. Siddiq Uthman, has advised Muslim faithful to exercise restraint during the Salah celebration. The cleric said this is necessary considering the current economic situation in the country, where the prices of rams and other necessities had soared. Uthman also said Muslims must not indulge in lavish spending that exceeds their financial capacity. The founder and Grand Sheikh of the Muslims Enlightened Organization, Dr. Rashid Akimbel, has emphasized the need for adherence to divine guidance in order to alleviate the suffering of the masses. In his Eid Kabir message, he urged both leaders and citizens to turn to Allah for guidance to survive in hard times. Dr. Kimbile harps on the importance of demonstrating love to fellow citizens and being content with Allah's provisions. Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah has congratulated Muslims in the state and across the nation on the occasion of this year's Eid Kabir. Mbah urged them to use the occasion to exhibit love, tolerance, peace, unity, and a sense of sacrifice to move the nation forward. He made the call in his goodwill message to the Muslim faithfuls at the Eid Kabir, stressing that the present socio-economic challenges will ultimately abide through the collective sacrifice and commitment to nation building by all Nigerians. In celebration of the Eid Kabir, Imam Abdullah Ibrahim has called on the federal government to fast-track its plans to revamp the country's economy and the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. The cleric made the call while observing the Eid Kabir prayers at the National Mosque in Abuja. Sanwo-Olu has details.
In the spirit of the celebration, the Imam Abdullahi Ibrahim encouraged Muslims to be their brothers' keepers and also to help the government in curtailing the fight against banditry in the country. He further encouraged Muslim faithfuls to abide by Allah's instruction and make sacrifice to Allah to defend its family and nations from domestic and foreign threats.
Call on the government to fast-track the process of the renewed hope, as we always remain in hope for that renewed hope.
Former Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Honorable Babangida S.M. Jore, encouraged Nigerians to be patient and continue to live in peace and unity so as to strengthen democracy in Nigeria.
Support our leaders so that they can deliver what we call dividends of democracy to our own people. Thank you, sir.
Eid el-Kabir is significant in the Islamic calendar to commemorate Prophet Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son in obedience to the command from Allah. The period is observed with Eid prayers, charity, social gatherings, festive meals, and gift sharing. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News.
Public health physicians have cautioned Nigerians not to allow the economic hardship to drive them into consuming the meat of sick animals, as they may contain infectious diseases that may jeopardize their health. The physician said meat from sick animals should be avoided irrespective of how they may be. The expert further warned that meat from sick animals like ram and cow could lead to disease spread, including the transmission of zoonotic diseases such as beef, tapeworm infections, bovine tuberculosis, and anthrax disease. Ogun State Police Command promised to increase its presence in some flashpoints across the state to ensure that the security of the resident is never threatened during the Eid Kabir celebration. The command also promised to provide 24-hour patrol of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the Karalong Bridge, and the Segumu Ijebo Benin Expressway. The spokesperson of the State Command, SP Omolola Odutola, said police will be seen conducting search and stop operations in locations such as Onigari, the Long Bridge, Alakpa, Olasangu, Ijoko, among others. The United Nations Children's Fund has stated that children under the age of 5 are particularly vulnerable to severe dehydration and higher mortality rates during cholera outbreaks. A statement by the Chief of United Nations Children's Fund, Lagos, Celine, says addressing the challenges of cholera outbreaks requires a deliberate focus of state policies to provide high standard water and sanitation facilities, as well as strengthen the healthcare systems capable of responding to the demand in times of outbreaks. She added that the state should lead educational campaigns in cholera prevention to protect children and the population at large. The National Association of Nigerian Students has appealed to federal governments not to revise its early ban on the certificate obtained from universities in Togo and Republic of Benin. In a statement signed by its National Senate Clerk Abdul Yankin in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, the student body warned against yielding to unnecessary pressure over what it referred to as long overdue policy, saying any action contrary would only spell doom for the nation and jeopardize its stand and qualitative education for its citizens. The All Africa Students Union has underscored the imperative of ensuring investment in education of the African continent. The association stated these in a press briefing to commemorate the 2024 Abuja Students' Day in Abuja. Shano J has the report.
President of All African Students Union, Osisiogu Osikeyin, emphasized the critical role of education financing in ensuring that every child in Africa has access to inclusive, accessible, and relevant learning opportunities.
We are confident that alternative solutions at the level of innovative financing tools could be found and implemented on the continent, particularly through private sector, public-private partnership, who could also contribute in financing education by investing majority of their corporate social responsibility, CSR, spending on education-related ventures.
He further warned that the learning crisis on the continent, orchestrated by political instability, will become a critical obstacle to development if investment and security in education are not enhanced, adding that expanding funding for education, both domestically and from external sources, is a key pathway to addressing this challenge.
We wish to call on all countries in Africa to endorse and respect the Self-School Declaration, currently supported by over 108 countries, to take concrete steps to better protect students, teachers, and schools and universities from attack during conflicts, including by refraining from using schools for concentration camps and military purposes.
He commended the union's grand patron, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhilome, for his passion and contribution to education revolution in the region.
We wish to thank our man of God, our grand patron, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhilome, DSC, for his passion for education and his dauntless stance on matters concerning Africa and her contemporary development. May God continue to increase him and his ministry.
The African Student Day has been celebrated on June 16th every year since 1991 as a significant occasion to reaffirm the continent's collective commitment to the well-being and educational rights of students across Africa. Sharna J. reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching News Cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles shown on your screen. When News Cycle returns, Palestinians in mourning as Muslim war marks the Eid al-Adha. These and other stories is coming right after this break. To stay with us.
Are you a food lover? Do you care about your health and nutrition? Are you interested in exploring the diverse culinary traditions from around the world? Then look no further. Introducing Lunch Global on Global Television, a show that takes you on a delicious journey through the world of food, nutrition, and diet. So, whether you're a seasoned foodie, a health enthusiast, or simply curious about the world of food, Lunch Global has something for everyone. Tune in Mondays to Fridays and let your taste bud take you on a journey of flavor, culture, and discovery on Lunch Global. Bon appetit!
In an ever-busy world, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first.
Hello, children. Gather around, let me tell you a story.
Do you know that stories have a way of captivating the minds of children, bringing fun and imagination to teach them morals? Join Sharona J as she takes you to explore the thrilling and exciting world of storytelling.
I'll be sharing with you our next interesting story.
Tune in every Saturday on Global Television, time 5:30 p.m.
With every government and introduction of new policies, businesses of all kinds and sizes seize the opportunity to evolve and redefine themselves. Business Point on Global Television is where we follow the money and put the facts and figures right in front of you. Watch Business Point every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. as Kikelamo Okeri tracks all the latest developments across critical sectors. Business Point, this is business.
For an insightful idea that takes the center stage and the conversation that gets beyond the headlines, to explore the lasting impact of political decisions, Big Talk got you covered. From policy debates to geopolitical insights, from thought-provoking discussions to actionable insight.
What is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on Global Televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.
Are you
You're watching News Cycle here on Global Television. Many thanks for staying with us. And now the federal government has announced plans to begin an assessment of the ongoing cleanup of oil-polluted sites in Ogoni land in Rivers State to ascertain how it impacts the lives and livelihood of the people. The government promised that it will give proper attention to addressing the challenges and bottlenecks affecting the development of the oil and gas-rich area. A senior special assistant in community engagement to President Bola Tinubu South-South, Gift Jambu, disclosed these during a one-day Ogoni cleanup stakeholders roundtable meeting in Bori headquarters of Kana Legi government area of Rivers State. And out of foreign scene, the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip and the occupied West Bank are marking a solemn Eid as the Israeli military continues its attack more than 8 months after the start of the war. In the besieged enclave, more than 37,000 Palestinians have been killed, people gathering in the rubble of their neighborhoods to pray today. The Israeli army announced that it will implement a daily tactical pause of military activity in the path of southern Gaza Strip during daylight hours to facilitate the delivery of aid. Niger has stopped exporting oil to China through its pipeline to Benin's coast. Oil Minister Mohamed Mustafa Baku disclosed this, escalating an ongoing standoff between the West African neighbors. At the Ajadin oil field in eastern Niger, Baku supervised the shutdown of a section of a few thousand kilometers pipeline which was meant to transport oil to China as part of the $400 million agreement with China National Petroleum Corp, according to Africa Briefing. Relations between Niger and Benin have been tense since May, when Benin blocked crude export through its port, insisting that Niger's junta reopen the border to Benin's goods and restore normal relations. And now to business. As Muslim nationwide prepare for the Salah celebration, there has been a surge in the purchases, which came with the lamentations of the high cost of sacrificial animals and essential food items needed for the Salah celebration. This festive spirit is damped by concerns over the soaring prices of sacrificial animals and necessary ingredients. The many Muslims across the country are expressing dismay at the high cost of rams of various sizes, as well as staples like tomatoes and palm oil, which are crucial for feast during the auspicious occasion. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, said the federal government has commenced a process of empowering Nigerian airlines to have direct access to international routes to the United States and South American countries on March 20. The airpeace commenced at Lagos-London flight services, but during an interview, Keyamo said the government is putting plans in place for local airlines in the country to commence direct flight operations to both the United States and South America. Retail egg prices have increased by 25% in the past 3 weeks, while farm gate prices have seen a rise of about 17%. The farmers and traders attribute the increase to scarcity following the significant closures of poultry farms in the country, and also to a renewed increase in the prices of maize and soya ingredient used in the poultry feed production. The food prices have generally increased across the country in the past year due to the depreciation of the naira and a rise in the transport costs. The increase in egg prices could negatively affect the pastry industry, which is also experiencing similar stress from high input prices. The Special Assistant to Kaduna State Governor on Skill Feeding, Dr. Fauzia Buhari, said a 4 billion naira is spent annually on school feeding in a bid to curb the growing number of out-of-school children in the state. Buhari Ado disclosed this in a statement in Abuja. She added that over 25,000 students in 51 boarding schools across the 23 local government areas benefit from the program. Now to sports, the International Paralympic Committee has celebrated Nigeria's para-table tennis couple, Christiana and Kayode Alabi, who are preparing to feature at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games in France. The committee on its website described their couple as a role models for the athletes across the globe. Preparing for Paris 2024, they have increased their workload and added 1 gym session per week to the training schedule. However, the preparations for their games debunked to an end as they leave the sports hall. Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has lashed out at coach Finidi George, stating that he has lost respect for him over some comments on his attitude towards the national team. Finidi, who is said to have also resigned as the head coach of the Super Eagles, was quoted to have said he can't beg Osimhen to play for the national team after the player withdrew from the last 2 2026 World Cup qualifiers due to injury. The striker was said to have been ruled out by the 4-week injury and was replaced by Enugu Rangers defender Kenneth Imoke. That's a package news cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Star Time. This is channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on the screen. I'm Michael. Many thanks for watching. See you again.